Initiating becoming a hiring machine sequence in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, it's Sam Keenley, and welcome to Becoming a Hiring Machine. This is the show dedicated to fixing recruitment by going beyond saying what needs to change and instead teaches you how to make that change. Today, we've got a great Tactical Tuesday episode ahead of us, but before we get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about the show. Essentially, we have shows within the show here. Some days we have interviews with industry thought leaders and others who are shaking up the space, while other days we cover things like trending topics. Stop by every Tuesday for a Tactical Tuesday episode where we go deep on how to do something that's going to help you drive better results in your day-to-day. Some days we open it up for Q&A, and other days we have Matt drop by for a mic drop episode where he shares something that he's been thinking about within the recruitment space and wants you to know. Today, we've got a Tactical Tuesday quick hitter episode that follows up on episode 85, 3 things to land more clients, and we'll be getting into 3 things to help keep and expand your existing client base. So with that, let's get into it. All right, first one, number 1, take a client to lunch. I know it's simple. Sounds simple on the surface, but the intention here is so that you can have a longer, more personal conversation with your client. And so this is going to allow you to help find out, what's coming up, what are they working on versus being more reactive. And the other element of it that I really like is that it's not so rushed like a phone call or like an email, but you really have the time to sit down, to talk, to ask questions to them, find out what are they working on, what's coming up, and how can you help. So it's hard to go into that with a specific set of questions you want to ask, but the purpose of it is to listen to the conversation, hear what comes out, and then from there you can start to understand, okay, based on what they're trying to accomplish, I know I can do X, Y, Z, I can support them with this, but you have to have that conversation first to understand what those points are. Number 2, and I'm stealing this from episode 92 with Paul Stansik, and it's conduct a hiring effectiveness assessment. I absolutely loved when he shared this with us. So if you haven't listened to that episode, highly recommend that you go back and listen to it. But the gist of it is you go back and you analyze the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of the hires from the organization. And based on their performance rubric for their company, how are they trending? Are they seeing trends go down, more below expectations, meet expectations, exceeds expectations? But the goal is to really understand, is your team performing better at or worse than they were in previous years? And no matter the direction, you're going to be able to glean insights from this that you can incorporate into the hiring process with them moving forward. And that's exactly where you'll come in, is you'll be able to provide those recommendations for them. Hey, update your hiring process by doing this, asking this, thinking about approaching things this way when you're sourcing candidates or anything else. So strongly recommend you go back and listen to that full one. But the thing that I love about that and that he shared is that this is a type of report. It's not only helpful to the hiring manager, but they'll want to share this with their executive leadership team, their board, everyone else, because it's looking at their organization across the board and everyone wants to have a team, the best team, so how can you do that? Here's a quick way you can add that value there. Last one, and this is a fun one, allows you to get a little bit more creative with them, but it is taking basically the question that everyone wants to know during the hiring process or even before the hiring process when they're just looking at organizations, but what's it like to work here? And so the recommendation there is work with them to record various team members answering different questions that come up, and you can share that on the careers page. You can share that on job postings relevant to those specific individuals. So, if there's specific departments that they work in, seniority levels, anything like that. And just record, have them grab an iPhone, have them sit in front of their laptop and record this. You can be the interviewer for it, or you can just give them the questions and they can press record on their phone. But you'd want to ask things like that most candidates want to know, what do new hires experience in their first 30 days? What's the best advice that you've been given while you've been working at the company? What's the biggest misconception people have about working at your company? How does the team recognize good work? How are you paid compared to industry standards? How transparent is the leadership team? How should candidates prepare for the interviews? What have you learned since joining the team? What does a typical day in the life look like for someone in this specific role? And why is now the right time to join the company? So those are a handful of questions. Definitely not limited to just those, but there's so many different ways that they can use that content and help people get a better sense for what's it actually like to work at the organization that goes such a long way with the candidates themselves. So as I said, quick hitter today, 3 things that you can add to your existing clients to help continue to strengthen relationship with them and everything else. But that wraps it for today's Quick Hitter Tactical Tuesday. So appreciate you all listening. Hope this is helpful, and we'll catch up with you at the next episode. All right, bye y'all.